I said we were going to talk about all these big, fancy Nerf Limited blasters. But I'll be real with you. I haven't had a chance to run them in an event, and I don't feel great about talking about them without having run them fully. I will say, I've run the Gallerhorn. The Gallerhorn's a lot of fun. So I decided we talk about something else that the Gallerhorn uses, which is shells. I like shells. Shells are cool. I don't know why people don't like shells. I mean, Nerf has made them a couple of times, and every time they get a little better. But you and I both know third parties have done it better. Right? You can't really talk about shells in the hobby without talking about Shellington. Shellington does things just a little better, in my opinion. Every product they've done, since and including Flypoint, has, in my opinion, been an absolute masterstroke. This thing is an absolute joy. I ran it all day Saturday, and I had a tremendous time with it. It's one of my very favorite blasters. I like it so much, in fact, that it is serialized as #1 on my list. So, what are you going to say about Flypoint that's bad? Oh, well, it feeds from shells. Shells are cool. Shells mean shell ejection. Shells also mean big, fancy things become possible. Because we all know Flypoint will feed 50 caliber balls, which means that every Shellington shell can feed more than one type of ammunition. And that goes all the way back to the granddaddy of them all, Spring Thunder. Now this is a Spring Thunder 4, 6? 6. I think it's 6. Whatever the current one is. I can't keep it straight. And what remains fun about Spring Thunder is you can shoot anything out of it. As long as it'll go in a shell, you can fire it. Single, double, rival, and another rival, just for S's and G's. Oh, we got a jam. There we go. And it's deprimable. Shotguns are cool. Shotguns are a joy to operate. Why don't we have more shotguns in the hobby? Well, because it's hard to make multiple darts feed well. So we come back to shells. Shells that have to be designed for their purpose. Shells like this one. The Domochevsky Rail Cleaner shell. A completely different system that still uses shells. Like we talked about in the short, it's a revolver. It's got 6 shots with 4 darts apiece. And it makes you feel like you've escaped from the Terminator. Because you get to fire just clouds of darts for no reason. Right? It's great fun. But shells were relegated to this, right? People argued, you can't use shells for single shot. It's not competitive. It's not gonna work. So, they came out with this. And in my opinion, which we'll notice, I serialized it #2, there's nothing quite like a lever gun for feel. You get that cowboy experience, right? Nothing feels like that. And they went to all the trouble of putting an honest-to-God loading gate in the system. This is the kind of blaster that only exists for the guys who really want to have fun. People sleep on shells. People think you only want shells for novelty acts, but shells are something special. Shells give you a degree of comfort that you can't get with normal Nerf rounds. And why? Because nothing's getting crushed in this magazine. Because every shell holds a dart. Those darts are safe. Those darts are unobstructed. And an unobstructed dart means that when you pull it, it comes out exactly how it's supposed to every time. And when it's time to reload, it holds open, and I'm back in play. There's an argument for shells in the field, and that argument is joy. Nothing feels like when that shell comes flying out of the chamber. Nothing gives you the same joy as seeing them collide off of a wall, as seeing them go spiraling out of view. And nothing gets as much enjoyment from the guy across from you as a shell tag. We were playing in the park in New Orleans one day, my very first game with Louisiana Blaster League. And I pulled this out of a cargo pocket, because at the time, that's how I had to holster it. I didn't have anything that could carry it. Oh, and I forgot. The holster, right? The sweet magnetic rig, that's Armstrong Accessories on Etsy. All of my holsters are Armstrong Accessories. They're fantastic. They work great. They come in different variations, and he'll work with you to make anything custom you may need because something doesn't fit. Swung it into line and started squeezing off rounds, and the random dad walking by screams, "Oh, damn! That one has shells!" This provokes a reaction. This provokes that visceral action movie hero vibe of seeing those shells spiral off into the distance. So is it as practical to run your Shellington Fly Point as your Nerf Strife? No, it's not. But this gets you talked about. This is a hit on the internet, and this makes your locals go, "Oh, damn, that's cool." So I guess what I'm getting at is, I don't think you're wrong for wanting conventional blasters. I love them. I use them all the time. I don't like firing shells outside because I have to find them. But if you have the opportunity and the desire, and you've debated, do I want something that fires these shells? The answer is yes. The answer is always yes. Because yippee-ki-yay is an option. And I want to do yippee-ki-yay. I want that visceral feel of that shell flying out of the chamber for me. I want that to be in my life and in my arsenal. And even more than that, because I love that. The cowboy action shooting experience there, that's a thing. But this, 7 rounds rapid, this is amazing and remains the master stroke of the shell-fired device, in my opinion. Yeah, they've come out with Renfield and now what's it called, Kieran, since, which is coming. Of course I ordered a Kieran. I'm that guy. And they're coming out with that MP5, but at the end of the day, just look at this action. And when it returns, this is something out of a science fiction movie. This is something Judge Dredd wore on his hip. This is a legendary piece of kit that more people should be investing in. So I guess I'm not shouting at clouds this time. I'm just telling you how much I like shells. I love shells. Shells are fun. Stop not using them because you think they're impractical. We're playing with jumped up children's toys. Impractical is kind of our stock and trade. So pick the thing that's most fun. Pick the thing that brings you joy. That should be the objective of this hobby.